E-Butter go crazy.
YouTube, what's good, guys? It's your boy T, and I'm back again with another live tonight, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on waiver wire ads, questions and answers. So, guys, if you got any questions about the waiver wire or any questions about anything going into your playoffs or week 14 or anything about fantasy, put it in the chat. And also, guys, do what we always do here best. Put the 100 symbol and spam the chat and let me know that you're rocking with your boy TD and supporting Bruh TD. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. So, I'm going to let the questions build up a little bit in the chat, and I'm going to talk about some of the obvious waiver wire ads for week 14. Here we go. So, first, guys, let me talk about Ezekiel Elliott. Now, listen, guys, we know that Ezekiel Elliott is not the same Ezekiel Elliott that he was in Dallas, but we don't care about that. That's not what fantasy football is about, and I preach that a lot. That's why I'm a zero RB guy, because running backs of always in the NFL, you can look at John Riggins, you can look at Frank Gore, a lot of running backs that they have, even when they older, they got a lot of tread, a lot of miles on their tires. I per se, they still can go to a team and ball out for 3 to 4 weeks and have a great fantasy output, because this is fantasy. So we're just not talking about real life. So what I want is Ezekiel Elliott. Would I want to draft him in the draft and depend on him? No. But now that Ramondre Stevenson is out and we in the fourth quadrant, this is a perfect opportunity to play Ezekiel Elliott and get that boom from him. I said what I said. It's the perfect opportunity to play Ezekiel Elliott and get that boom from him. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, guys, is probably going to be the starting running back for the rest of this playoffs. I don't believe that you're going to be able to start Ramondre Stevens for the rest of this season in fantasy football playoffs, which they're not going to the real playoffs. So this is probably the season for Ramondre Stevenson. It's over. So Ezekiel Elliott, guys, is a nice play. I think he's a top 24 RB. He's a top 24 RB. I would start him as a top 24 RB. Now, if he finishes a top 24 RB, it doesn't matter. I'm not always about the results. I'm about the start. I'm playing a guy that's getting all the workload, that has no backup, getting all the goal line opportunities. Now, that's not a great offense, but he still is getting the whole workload. So I love that. Let's move on to another guy. Let's talk about a quarterback. Now, if you're looking for a quarterback at this time of the year, you're in trouble. But if you're in a super flex league and you need a super flex quarterback, say you lost Trevor Lawrence or somebody like that, I think Joe Flacco is a good quarterback. Now, I also, just to mention real quick, I also like Jake Brown, and he surprised me a lot. So Jake Brown, anybody that didn't want Jake Brown and they dropped him, I would go and get him. He got an alpha guy that he's throwing the ball to, as in Jamar Chase. So go get Jake Brown and too. I like Jake Brown and Joe Flacco equally. Those are good super flex quarterbacks to go into your fourth quadrant. But Joe Flacco is hyper targeting Elijah Moore. He looked really good throwing the ball downfield, so I'm okay with playing Joe Flacco or Jake Browning. I'm okay with. I think these are good quarterbacks to stream, guys. If you're in a super flex league, if you're in a single quarterback league and you need these guys, that means you must have like Trevor Lawrence or somebody. You don't got nobody else. I'm okay with going with Joe Flacco and Jake Browning in that situation. But hopefully you can go to somebody like Matthew Stafford or somebody. Hopefully you ain't got to go that low, right? You ain't got to go to the bottom of the barrel. But let's move on. Let's talk about another guy. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I see you in the chat. Next guy I'm gonna talk about is Noah Brown. Now, listen, I haven't talked a lot about Noah Brown because CJ Stroud don't need any particular number one guy outside of Nico Collins. Then he did like Tank Dell, and he liked Nico Collins. But Noah Brown, I think he got a lot of weapons, guys. He got Brevin Jordan. He has what's the guy? Robert Woods. I'm not going to trust Noah Brown in my fantasy football playoffs. Now, this week, if you want to play him, that's fine. I'm not trusting him in my fantasy football playoffs. There's too many good wide receivers out there, guys, to go and trust Noah Brown as a flex play. Even running backs still are coming off the waivers. So to me, I just want you to be careful about playing Noah Brown. Know that he's a boom bust guy. Don't think he's going to go out there and get 12 targets. I think CJ Stroud can win this game any kind of way. The only guy that I'm trusting for the Houston Texans is Nico Collins. That's the only guy that I'm trusting. All right, moving on. And this is going to get a little ugly, but I want to talk about him. Quentin Johnson. I don't know. I got to mention him. He caught 5-6 passes for 50 yards. Guys, he has a bad drop, but they need him. Joshua Palmer is not healthy yet. Joshua Palmer, if he was full healthy, I would talk about him, but they need somebody. So Quentin Johnson just a guy to go out there and play. Now, I don't know what your team look like. Hopefully you don't need Quentin Johnson, but you never know. You could be in a 16-team league. Sometimes, guys, you just got to play guys who's going to get opportunities. Sometimes you don't want to overanalyze it and try to look for a guy who's going to get super duper targeted, right? It's not going to always happen that way. So make sure that you like don't have a better option if you're gonna play a guy like Quentin Johnson. Moving on, guys, to my next guy is Jonathan Mingo. Now, this is a guy that I really, really like. I think he could be a top 16 wide receiver. That he's a rookie, and when they fire coaches, guys, usually at the end of the season, they're gonna play the rookies and see what they got because that team is not making the playoffs. So I like Jonathan Mingo a lot, guys. Play Jonathan Mingo as a flex play. That's easy. I'm playing him as a flex play. Now, if you got better wide receivers, then don't try to get cute and pick up Jonathan Mingo. But if you don't got nobody else, you trying to decide you lost Tank Dell, why not replace him with Jonathan Mingo? I think that's a great replacement to play him. Let's move on, guys. I will get to everybody's question. I appreciate everybody being patient, but I'm gonna let the questions build up a little bit, and then I'm gonna get to everybody's question. So thank you. Next is Kenneth Gainwell. Yes, guys, Kenneth Gainwell. And the reason why I want to mention Kenneth Gainwell, DeAndre Swift is not healthy. Now, am I necessarily telling you that Kenneth Gainwell will be a top 24, a top 32 running back? No, but if you need to play him, you can. So some of these guys I'm mentioning that you can play them, they're not optimal, but you can play them. I'd rather play somebody else than play Kenneth Gainwell. I don't think they necessarily need Kenneth Gainwell. And when they get down to the goal line, they're not really giving it to the running back. They didn't Jalen Hurts. That's kind of something they got to start changing up to keep Jalen Hurts more healthy, but they're not using the running backs down there. So I'm not really trying to play Kenneth Gainwell unless I really have to. Moving on, guys, another guy that I like, this guy's a stash. He has a bye this weekend, is Antonio Gibson. Yes, guys, Antonio Gibson. And the reason why that I like Antonio Gibson, because in a PPR league, he's getting full work, and Brian Robinson has a hamstring injury. So that's telling me that Antonio Gibson at least going to get 15 touches. I don't think Chris Rodriguez is going to come in and take the full Brian Robinson role. I think they're going to split it between Chris Rodriguez and Antonio Gibson. So I'm willing to stash Antonio Gibson this week. You're not going to be able to wait next week to get him. And one of my top guys this week that I believe is a top 12 running back potentially is Chuba Hubbard. Yes, guys, I love Chuba Hubbard. I've been liking him the whole season. They're giving him the workload. Pick him up and play him. He's got to be. If he's on your bench, there's not too many running backs that I'm playing over. You got to be a stud for me to sit Chuba Hubbard. Now, if you already got good running backs, so you don't need them. But if you don't, and you're looking for a guy to put into your flex, I think Chuba Hubbard is a great guy. Let's move on. Next guy, this is a deep stash, is Dearness Johnson. Don't drop him. I know I have a subscriber that loves Dearness Johnson. She said people's going to probably drop him. I'm like, nah, you should not drop him. You need to stash him. You never know what's going to happen with Travis Etienne or what can happen with a running back. No handcuffs should be on the waivers, to be honest. It might be a few on there because you can't pick up everybody, but you got to stash these handcuffs because anything can happen in your fantasy football playoffs, especially if you got Travis Etienne. And a couple more guys I want to talk about before I get to the comments is Tajay Spears. I know Derrick Henry is probably going to be healthy, but I'm still picking up Tajay Spears, and I'm willing to play him against Miami. Miami is going to push this team. So that's going to be more passing opportunities, they're going to be more passing opportunities because of the score. So that's going to put Tajay Spears on the field more. A couple more guys is Elijah Moore. He's getting hyper-targeted by Joe Flacco. So I'm willing to play Elijah Moore because Amari Cooper is probably going to be out. So I'm going to play Elijah Moore. And last but not least, guys, is Roschon Johnson. Now, Roschon Johnson's missed his opportunity early in the season, but now it's come back around full circle, and now he's probably going to be the bell cow. Khalil Herbert didn't look good at all. He looked like he's still coming off that high ankle sprain. And Deontay Foreman has an ankle sprain. So I think Roschon Johnson is the guy to play, and I believe he's going to get 15 to 20 touches in his backfield. Okay. So let's get to some of these comments here. What's going on, bro? I see you. Stacy, what's going on, girl? Let's get that championship. Sport Dogs is TD. Good news. First, I won week 13. Bad news, I'm out of the running for the playoffs. Oh well. Looking to add a running back of all the guys you covered early today. I like Roschon Johnson, Tajay Spears if Henry is out. Right. I will go with Tajay Spears if Henry's out. I don't think he's going to be out. So I will go with Roschon Johnson probably. He's going to get he's probably a little bit more safer than Tajay, even though they're playing against Miami, and Tajay going to get more snaps against a passing team because they're probably going to be down. Now, if Tennessee could win the game, it'd be a Derrick Henry game all day. Sport Dog says, I will be starting Josh Allen for my quarterback. I still have Goff, and I can drop him if I need the room to make a waiver wire move for another wide receiver or running back. Okay, he says I will be starting Josh Allen for quarterback. I have Jared Goff, and I can drop him if I need to make room to make a waiver. Right. Yeah. So man, I'm glad. I'm mad that you out the playoffs, bro. But I like that you playing through. That teaches you good habits. You learn a lot by still being active. What players are still hitting, so you can make great moves next year. Let's see. Bo, what's going on, bro? He says, get your popcorn ready for the show. Ha. Let's get it. Yes, sir. I'm glad you got your popcorn ready, bro. Chris says, use number one waiver wire on Zeke. I don't need a running back, but almost playoffs. Yeah, I guess you could, or I would rather go Chuba Hubbard. But if Chuba Hubbard's not there, you could go Zeke. You could go Zeke and get ready for the playoffs. I don't think it's right now. I mean, you could hold on to it. If you got to play this week, I wouldn't hold on to it. I mean, it's up to you, man. Some leagues I'm not going after Zeke. Some leagues I am. It just depends on my team. If I already got good running backs, I'm not just going to get Zeke just to get them or keep them away, because this is a low tier offense. It's not an offense that's scoring no more than 14 points. This offense is barely scoring 10 points a game. So it's up to you, bro. It's depending on your team. Charlene says my next major game is week 16. Okay, so you got the bye week. Congratulations, Charlene. Nino, he says Waller got dropped earlier this season because of injury, but with having Laporta, should I still pick him up just in case? Not really. I would leave my bench open for something else. You got Laporta. Go down with the ship. Don't try to put Waller on your team and then Waller go off and you sitting around and say, well, I could have won if I'd have played Waller. Don't even put that. You don't need that trouble. Just go ahead and roll out Laporta unless you see a matchup that Waller got that you think he's going to get hyper-targeted. I doubt if he gets hyper-targeted, especially with him being out so long and with Tommy DeVito being the quarterback. I think he's going to more hyper-target guys like Jalen Hyatt and what's the other wide receiver? I would say Saquon Barkley. I just say Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hyatt. Harambe, what's up, bro? Appreciate it. And Kale says Alexander Madison, Jalen Warren, Keaton Mitchell, Todd Chandler, pick one, PPR. I'm going with Keaton Mitchell over Alexander Madison, over Jalen Warren, over Todd Chandler. So it would be between Keaton Mitchell and Alexander, and I'm going with Keaton Mitchell. What's going on, cuz? What's going on, Marvin? He's really first thing tomorrow. Okay. I don't know what you mean by that, bro. Okay. And Kenny says, Ken, folks. Yes, sir. And this is over. Love from Green Bay. Okay. Really first thing tomorrow, over. Love from Green Bay. Right. Love balled out. Charlene says week 14, win or lose does not mean anything. Right. Week 15, I have a bye. Right. Yep. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, don't even worry about spending your waiver priority. I like that you got a strategy already. Right. You're not going to sell your soul to get an extra win to make your record look good. You worried about getting that win week 16. That's what matters. Father of three, what's going on, bro? He says Trevor replacement, Browning, Flacco, or Jameis Winston. You know what, man? I can't disrespect Browning, man. Woo! You know, I hate to try to ride a boom off a quarterback, but he got Jamar Chase, and that gives you a safe haven. He got some weapons too. I'm gonna go with Browning, right? I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and act like, bro, because Flacco is okay. He ain't gonna he could throw for 3 touchdowns, but I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, but Flacco though, or Jameis Winston, a turnover machine. There, Jameis Winston gonna have 30. He gonna throw the ball downfield. I will guarantee you that. But he could throw 3 picks too. Browning look good, man. I'm gonna go with Browning. He got a killer weapon. Go with Browning. We're not gonna know it. Let's just ride it out day by day. Marvin. Okay. Marvin says I'm short on tight end, fam. Tight end. Let's see here. Who should you go get on tight end? That could be on your waivers. Cole Kmet. I like Cole Kmet. Kyle Pitts. Cole Kmet or Kyle Pitts. I would say Cole Kmet or Kyle Pitts is the guys that I'm willing to stream. Cole Kmet or Kyle Pitts, bruh. Mr. Anderson, what's going on with you, bruh? He says, would you roll with Herbert or Love rest of the season? I'm going with Love, man. You got it right. He beat Kansas City. If you sit him as getting cute now, he's already showed it to you. You got to make him show you something else now. You got to make him have a bad game. I'm riding Love. Only way I'm sitting Love has got to be Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. You got to be some of the great five. If you ain't the great five, you got to play Love over him. Herbert is not in the great five anymore because of his situation. Because he's had 2 or 3 bad games. He's had a trend. He's had a quadrant of bad games. So it's time to go with Love. Love has had a quadrant of great games with a great matchup. He beat one of the best defensive backfields in the whole league. So I'm riding Love for the rest of the season until I see something else. Sport Dog says, hey, Nino, Laporta gave me 30 points. I'm still keeping Dalton Kincaid. I won't let anyone get him, and he's good to go if Laporta is injured. Right. Sometimes you got to pay keep away. Just depends on what your other leagues makes. You got to. That's why I tell y'all to get consultations. Sometimes I can tell you something, and it don't really even matter for your team. I'm telling you to pick up Kincaid. You don't need Kincaid. Sometimes you need to go ahead and pick up Kincaid because somebody else, if they get Kincaid, could be a league winner. So it just depends, bro. Mr. Anderson says Pitts or Goddard. I'm going with Pitts. I'm going with Pitts over Goddard. Josh Palmer coming off IR, I know, and I'm not willing to play him. Yeah, I mean, if I need to, don't get it. Anybody can play. If they starting, I can play a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2 off any team. But I'd rather play Jalen Hyatt than to play Josh Palmer. So that's why I'm telling you, so man, it just depends on what you got. If you don't got nothing else on your waivers, I'm not playing them over Zeke. I'm not playing Josh Palmer over George Pickens. I need to see it first. This offense is struggling. Austin Eckler can't run the ball, so they kind of just playing for the pass. So I will wait. But I think he's definitely a good pickup. He should not be on your waivers. He should be stashed. But I'm just not going around and tell people to play him or to count on him. And then this week, if you don't need to make the playoffs, you can do whatever. You can experiment. Johnny, he says thoughts on Dallas Goedert. A tight end that you need to pick up and see what happens. I wouldn't start him the first week. You can start him the first week, but is he going to be, oh my God, man, this is a guy you got to play. This is a big time guy. No, this is just a guy that he should not be on your waivers if you need a tight end. If you already got 2 good tight ends and you just see Dallas Goedert out there and you can green bean him, pick him up. But if you got to spend a waiver priority and you already sold or you already got a good tight end and a backup tight end, then you don't really need Dallas Goedert. Then can Dallas Goedert go out there and get hyper targeted? I seriously doubt it. The guy that I like on this offense right now, I think is going to be Devontae Smith. I don't think Dallas Goedert is going to be the defending to beat the Cowboys this coming up week. I don't think they really need him to do that. I think he's going to get a couple targets, Isaac, what's up, bro? What's going on with you? Appreciate you. Johnny says, which tight end, Dallas Goedert or Pat Freiermuth? I actually would go with Dallas Goedert over Pat Freiermuth. And the reason why, if I had to choose between those two, because I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. So if it's going to matter, you got to play one of those guys. I probably would go with Dallas Goedert. I would go with the unknown than to try to trust Mitchell Trubisky. I like Pat Freiermuth, but he didn't hyper target Pat Freiermuth when Kenny Pickett went out. I'm not touching anybody off this offense unless I don't got anything better to do. Ozzy says pick up Houston D and drop the Cowboys. Tough schedule. No, don't drop the Cowboys because you don't want nobody else to pick them up and they play them against you and they boom. So I'm definitely picking up the Houston defense. Guys, there's a couple of teams. I need to make a video on this. There's a couple of teams that you need to stream defenses on every single time, and it's the Jets and the Patriots. Anytime the team, your team is playing the Jets or the Patriots, you need to pick up that defense. That just, I don't care what defense it is. It could be the Carolina Panthers. If they playing the Patriots, you pick them up. If they playing the Jets, you pick them up. But don't drop Dallas defense. I would say, look, this is the season to hold on to 3 defenses. Defenses and defensive leagues, they very, very important right now. I mean, they almost important in some RB2s. I said what I said. They almost important in some RB2s because games are going to be tight. So 14, 12 points, 10 points matters right now. So I'm getting very precise now. I'm going to start breaking y'all down a little bit different. I'm going with what I know. Look, we got 14 weeks of what you done. I'm going with it. I'm not trying to get cute and guess. Then I'm willing to do it if I don't got anybody. If I can get cute at the flex position, it's okay. But I'm not trying to go with somebody who I think might boom. I'm gonna look at your game trend and I'm gonna go with it. So I'm not dropping no Dallas Cowboys. They've been good too much all season for me to try to drop. I'm not dropping them. Isaac says also drop Khalil and pick Goddard or Cuff Murray, Chandler or Brown. If you got a good tight end, I wouldn't drop Khalil to pick up Goddard. If you might start him, yeah, do that. If you're going to have a chance to start Goddard, I'm not saying definitely start him, but if you have a chance to start Goddard, then yeah, you can drop Khalil and do that. Latavius Murray, Todd Chandler. I like Todd Chandler, but you can't trust it. This is playoff time. I'm not going to worry about or Brown, which is probably Marquise Brown. If that's Marquise Brown, I probably would try to maybe pick up Marquise Brown for later in the playoffs because I believe he could have an okay game. But like I said, it's all about if you're going to need Goddard. Don't pick him up just to say, look at my team. I got Goddard right here, and you're not really going to never play him. You just pick them up. Or if you think a team that you got to play need a tight end, then that's okay. If you think a team that you're going to play need a tight end, you can pick them up and play keep away. And maybe drop them Sunday morning. Stacy says, so I am sticking it out with Tua versus Tennessee or Love. You can get Love. You got Love. Woo. That's tough. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to stick it out with Tua. If Christian Watson was 100%, I might tell you something that could, I don't know. I probably would tell you to go with Love. And I would tell you I'm biased. I would tell you, I would make, because I know you very, you don't like, you make your own decisions. There's a couple of things that I said, I gave you advice on, and you didn't listen to me, and it worked out for you. I remember when you played Kyron Williams, and I said, wait 1 week, and you didn't, and he hit for you, and that was a big week for you. So I'm going to say ride it out with Tua. But if Christian Watson was 100% healthy, I would tell you to go with Love, because he's hot. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought he would do good. That dude wasn't missing nobody. I mean, he was hitting everybody. Throwing the ball up. I mean, perfect throws. But right now, with Christian Watson being hurt, I'm probably gonna tell you to stay with Tua. Because Tennessee secondary is not that strong. Sport Dog says we have a loser bracket in the playoffs, so I'm still cautious over who I drop. Right. I also plan on changing out my defense. I like Houston or Green Bay. Any other defense you like, TD? As in right now, bro, because I ain't done a lot of research on all the defenses like I want to. One thing that I have noticed by looking through the schedule, looking what I would want to do, I'm targeting defenses that are playing against the New York Jets and the Patriots. So I do like Houston defense. So I like that. And I do also like Green Bay, where that defense is getting better and they're getting healthy down the stretch. So I think you need to pick up both defenses. I would pick up both defenses and maybe drop a guy that's a backup that you might not need. I think this is a big defensive time of the season where you have to stash 2 to 3 defenses. unless you got a studded out team. Okay, I didn't know that. Wow, I think I have seen it on your team. Wow, that's great. That's gonna help you out from somebody else. If you hadn't had Love, somebody would have had him. You might would have had to play against him. That's a great move, girl. Good job. Great job. Great job. And I know you got Reed. I love Reed. Reed might be the starter for you by losing Christian Kirk. That might be your starter. That might be your starter right there. I really believe that. I think that's going to be your starter. But I will go with Tua. Sean, he says, what up? Thinking about trading away James Cook for Swift after this week because of the playoff schedule. Should I? No. Swift makes me very, very nervous. I think he might be injured and he might be playing through injuries, and nobody wants to play. That's why Swift didn't get that many opportunities. They kept playing Gainwell in like certain situations where they haven't played Gainwell in that position all season long. So I wouldn't make that move. That's just me. I'm not going to make that move. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Also, guys, I switched up something with my microphone. Actually, guys, it was on the wrong mic. It was on my camera mic. It wasn't on the mic that's in front of my face. So I apologize, guys. So hopefully it sounds a little bit better. I'm going to go back and listen to this live after we get off. Harambe says 2 flex league, re-rolling Rice and Flowers rest of the season and factoring in Amari Cooper. Right. Or factoring in Amari Cooper. I'm rolling out with Rice and Flowers. I love those guys. That's what you see. This is the fourth quadrant. It's rookie wide receiver time. And I got to make a video on. I keep forgetting, guys. Somebody remind me and put that comment in and let me know. TD, make a video on rookie wide receivers in the fourth quadrant. Rookie wide receivers, they boom in the fourth quadrant. We got big time. We got Odell Beckham his rookie season. We got Jamar Chase. We got Justin Jefferson. Who else? We got a lot of evidence of rookie wide receivers going off in the fourth quadrant, getting ready to go into their second season. So I love Rice and Flowers. I think they get ready to boom, especially with Mark Andrews being out, especially with Kansas City struggling. I think Rice and Flowers are top 12 guys. I hate to say that, but if you want to add up their points for the rest of the season, I think they could be top 12 guys. I said what I said. Guys like Stephon Diggs, you would think, I'm not saying Stephon Diggs is a bad play, but some of those type guys that you like, oh, well, that's going to be a top 12 guy. Sometimes it don't happen like that. Sometimes these rookies come in and boom. So Johnny, I'm sorry. Johnny says Browning or Minshew. I don't got my glasses on, bro. He says Browning or Minshew. Let me see something here before I give you that. Let me see something here. That's a good question. I'm going with Minshew. That's the tough one, bro. That's tomato. That's a great question, bro. I'm going with Minshew. The reason my deciding factor was to go with Minshew is what he's done all season. So again, like I said, now that we have a whole book and the book is sold, the book is there. We got it. It's already wrote down in ink. We can't change it. We got almost 14 weeks of what Minshew did. Maybe not 14, maybe like 8 weeks, but we got a long list of what Minshew's done. And to get off of that, to go to Browning off one big game, it could happen. It could make sense, but I'm not going to do that. I think Minshew is the safer. Browning, I think you're taking more risk and I don't know if it's that much of more upside. It might be a little bit more upside because this offense of the Colts have looked really good. Josh Downs is really good. He hasn't boomed in a couple weeks since the injury, but Michael Pittman is a top 5 wide receiver right now in real life. Maybe not in fantasy, but in real life. So he got a great weapon. So that Jamar Chase canceled out each other. And I think the better team is the Colts on the offensive side. I think they got a better offensive coordinator. So I would go with Minshew because he's got he's got more work. I can read, I can see what he's done in the past, and it makes me feel safer. So I would go with Minshew over Browning. But if you went with Browning, bro, and you come back and say, "Hey, TD, I told you I went with Browning and it hit," or I went with Minshew, man, but Browning did better. I'm like, bro, my bad. I'm humble when it comes to this. That's great questions, man. Are great questions. Like I said, I'm not gonna act like I know every single. That's just a great one, man. Because I gotta put some respect on what Browning did. But I'm gonna go with Minshew, bro. Great question. TZ always showing support. What's good with you, bro? He says, thought on a flex 4 PPR, Josh Downs or Brandon Cooks, leaning towards Cooks. Boom. I think so too, because Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. I love Josh Downs in 4 PPR, but Cooks got more touchdown upside than Josh Downs. Let me see here. I like Cooks. I think because they're going to try to take away CeeDee Lamb and make Brandon Cooks beat him. Excuse me. So I'm going with Cooks over Josh Downs. And I really love Josh Downs. Guys, if you in Dynasty, go buy low on Josh Downs. If you in Dynasty, go buy low on Josh Downs. I said what I said. Kenny says Roshan or Keaton Mitchell. I think I'm going with Roshan. Well, no, I'm not going with because Detroit got a really good run defense. Detroit run defense is top. I'm going to go with Keaton Mitchell, bro. Even though Keaton Mitchell might not get as many touches, it's just like A-Chain. A-Chain don't always get as many touches as other running backs, but it doesn't matter. He's very explosive. And James Cook is that way. I think Keaton Mitchell is that type of back too. So I'm going to say Keaton Mitchell because of matchups. Detroit, that run defense is serious. They don't give up the run like that. They may give up the pass. They weaken. They like top 20 in the pass. They like a top 20 team in the pass. But run defense, they top 5. So I'm going with Keaton Mitchell. Great question, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I think I did that one already. Okay. Vito says, what up, TD? Pick 3 running backs, please. Pierce, Gibson, Keaton Mitchell, and Spears. Thanks. I'm going with Keaton Mitchell. And this is for the week 14. This is not rest of the season. So I'm just giving you week 14 values. But I would think that you probably mean rest of the season because you got Gibson on here. So I'm going to give you both of them. For week 14, I like Keaton Mitchell. I like Keaton Mitchell week 14. Rest of the season, I still like Keaton Mitchell. But I'm going to say rest of the season, I'm going to go with Keaton Mitchell, Gibson, then Spears because Derrick Henry is not going to be out. But for week 14, I'm going to go Keaton Mitchell, Spears, then Gibson. That's obvious because Gibson's not playing. Vito says, and Zeke. Let me see. I'm trying to look, Vito, where you had something. Okay, what up, TD? Pick between. Yeah, okay. Actually, I would still put Keaton Mitchell first, but I would put Zeke second for rest of the season and week 14. I would put him second because of the target. He's gonna get 20 touches probably. And he's gonna get all the goal line work. He's already been taking goal line work from Ramondre a couple times. So he's gonna get all the goal line work, and that's what matters. Nino says, is it worth dropping a wide receiver like Deontay or London for a good playoff defense? I would drop Deontay, and that's just me. I know a lot of you are high on Deontay, but I would drop Deontay for a defense that's playing against the Patriots or the Jets. I will go look and see each week who's playing the Jets and the Patriots, and I will go pick up those defenses right now. I will pick them up tonight. I wouldn't wait. Don't wait. I would go get them. I would spend. Now I wouldn't spend my number one waiver priority, but if I had a loaded team and I saw a team that had to play maybe the Jets twice or something like that, like Buffalo, or had to play and who else is a weak team outside of Jets? Patriots had to play the Patriots twice. I'm picking that defense up. I don't want to spend a number one waiver priority, but I don't think it'd be crazy. It could be a great strategy. It could be a great that way. Every week you got a killer defense going up against a turnover-prone team. That can win you the league. Cutting edge content right there. I wouldn't drop London. I would drop Deontay first. Viv says, I agree with the defense. Houston looks like a winner this week. Streaming them this week for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell says Lamar Jackson or Love. Lamar is not having any boom games. I agree. But I'm still gonna ride out with Lamar. This is what this is, Kales. So if you want to go with Love, I respect it, brother. I'm not going to chastise that because what you're saying is facts. Lamar ain't did. I don't tell people to do stuff and I don't have any evidence. I get off of it. Now, sometimes I come back around not to try to chastise y'all. I want y'all to know this. I'm not looking to try to say, I told you so. Sometimes it may seem that way, but a lot of times y'all don't understand why I say cutting edge things and be on certain players when they ain't played good in months. So, you know, y'all ain't said a lot about Christian Watson, but you know how many times y'all was asking me questions and you would say, TD, Christian Watson, man, I got to drop him. And I'd be like, man, that's on you, man. I'm not going to drop him, but I respect it. I really wanted to I wasn't going to tell you that because I don't want, you know, guys, I gotta have subscribers. But really, if I knew you, like, man, don't drop Christian Watson. He's too much of the book. Like, he's good. He just ain't, the situation ain't right now. Sometimes you got to weather the storm. Lamar Jackson is that. I'm not dropping Lamar Jackson for nothing. He's going to give me some boom games. Now, listen, if he go out this whole season and he only give me one boom game from here on out, you might have a point. I believe he got 2 or 3 boom games in him, bro. I believe he got some top 5 games in him, especially with more injury in out. I think going away for a boom game the other week, but they just want to get through it. I don't want you to drop Lamar Jackson, man, because I think he could be a league winner. So it's the same thing I said about Christian Watson. It's the same thing about Jordan Love. These players that I stayed on, I did not drop, and I can't wait, guys. After this week, I'm going to show you my teams, my playoff teams. Like I said, out of 16 leagues, guys, I'm probably in the playoffs in about 7 of them. I'm going, and I got one number 1 seed, and the rest of them like 3 and 4 seeds and some 6 seeds. So I want to show y'all the teams guys that I held on and stayed true on, like Jalen Waddle, Christian Watson. I stayed on those guys. So I want you to stay on Lamar. That's just my opinion, bro. That's just my opinion. Johnny said, should I drop Pat for Likely or Pitts? Yes, I would go ahead and do it with Kenny Pickett being out. I would drop him probably. It just depends on who you like. I like Pitts, but I probably would go with Likely, got a better quarterback and he got more boom potential because of the quarterback's going to push the ball downfield and have more explosive plays. I would probably go with Likely. I don't want to be biased and say Pitts. I just can't trust Pitts. I don't like what the hell is going on over there in Atlanta. I'm tired of. I still love Pitts, but I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If a coach comes in here and Kyle Pitts goes for 1,200 yards with about 10 touchdowns, Arthur Smith will never be another offensive coordinator again. He might be a design run coordinator because he's great with that run scheme. Or unless he go out there and tell people he learned, he won't never do that again. The way he used Pitts, he got to be ashamed of himself. I don't think it's all on Ritter. Maybe I don't see something about what's going on with Pitts. But anyway, getting back on point, man, I like Likely. I'm going to go with Likely in this instance because I believe Lamar can make big plays, and that's all you need, especially at the tight end position. You just need a couple plays. Isaac says Cowboys playing next 4 versus top offenses. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because listen, let me tell you why. Sometimes you don't go off matchups per se when it's top players like Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf. This is another DK thing. And I'm not saying this hits every time. I'm just giving y'all why I think my channel is cutting edge. Now, are there a lot of channels that told you to play? That would have told you to play DK? Yeah, but if they would have told you that, if they just said, "Well, look, you can pick any player today," and if it wouldn't have been Tyreek Hill or like none of the elite guys, I'm playing DK. I'm like, I want DK. They're like, you want DK against Dallas? Dallas the best defense, and Bland is locking everybody down, and DK went for 3 touchdowns on them. So you don't always go, man. You got to, like, Dallas is good. They can go to a top. Look, Dallas played good against top offenses. If you a passing offense, your ass in trouble. Michael Parsons coming. Now, Seattle is different because of Pete Carroll. They kind of run. They're kind of a run first team, even though Geno might pass a lot. So that I knew Michael Parsons probably might not have a big game because Pete Carroll is a defensive coordinator. He know how to stop great pass rushers per se, right? But if you playing against Kansas City, I want Michael Parsons all day. He coming to get Pat Mahomes' ass out there running around. So I don't care about no top offense when it comes to no Dallas Cowboys. So reason why I want you to keep them, if they ball out against 2 top offenses or ball out 1 week and look great, and then somebody goes down, a quarterback, and you got to play them, and you drop Dallas, that's your league winning defense right there. But you didn't drop them, and then guess what? Somebody else done pick them up, and they gonna put them against you, and then you got to go and live with dropping Dallas defense, and they playing against you and beating you. I play fantasy that way. I don't really play fantasy for 8.5, 6.7. Play this. Sometimes that's good. Don't get it twisted. I'm not mocking that because I've watched a lot of channels and that helps me too. But at the end of the day, I'm going with what I see on film. The same thing with coaches. You can go out there. Oh, that's why they picked Quentin Johnson in the top 15. He's 6'3" and he runs a 4.4. And you got Tank Dell to run a 4.6 out there, way better than Quentin Johnson. You couldn't go off no numbers, but if you watch Tank Dell play, he way better than Quentin Johnson. So that's what I'm saying. I'm watching the Cowboys play. That defense is good. I don't care what offense it is. Ain't no offense out there really. Maybe Lamar Jackson or CJ. Ain't no offense out there that's gonna stop Michael Parsons. So I'm gonna keep the Dallas defense. But I don't want to chastise you. I just thought there was a good opportunity to tell y'all why. Sometimes I tell y'all to do things and we'll be like, well, why would you do that? So that's why I was breaking it down like that, bro. Okay, let's see. I think I might have did this one more. I picked up Jaden Reed last week, and right now I think I will use him in one of my flex spots against the New York Giants secondary. He should get some points. Bro, if Christian Watson is out, he's going to be a top 12 wide receiver. I said what I said. With Jordan Love on fire, Jaden Reed is going to ball out. Jaden Reed is my player of the week. He's one of my sleeper plays of the week. I love Jaden Reed. If Christian Watson plays, then Jaden Reed is a good, solid player. But if Christian Watson out, man, I love Jaden Reed, bro. So against the Giants defense too. Harambe says, thanks, bro. Sound crawling on Mike's good. Thank you, man. I did something different. So hopefully that's working out, man. Hopefully that's working out. Charlene says, I will use Miami DST and Matt Gay rest of the season. I seen what I seen. Yeah, and hey, that's you all day. You was the first one. Now, I like my Miami defense, and I might would have used them maybe a couple times. I don't play in defense leagues. I play in IDP leagues. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I do a lot of research. Now, I know defense. I watch the defensive game. That's why I'm good at IDP. But I don't like DST leagues. I don't like, because some people scoring systems. Sometimes people do it for points. I'm like, This team had 4 turnovers, and just because they scored 21 points, you gonna knock them? No, I don't like that. So some defense of leagues, they got it perfect kind of set up where if you get turnovers, you still get a bunch of points. And even if you hold them down to 10 points, you still get points for that. I think you got to have context. So just because you hold a team to 10 points don't make you a great defense. Turnovers matter too. Sometimes you can give up 17 points, but you get 3 or 4 turnovers, and that's a really good. So, but Miami DST, you've been on it for about 3 or 4 weeks now, Charlene. You've been killing it. I appreciate you, girl. You know your stuff. And Miami defense, they do look really good. They flying to the ball, even with some of their guys being out. They look really explosive. Isaac says Noah Brown a start with Deontay and Watson questions. Yes. If that's the best that you got. So wait now, I'm just taking the context. That's the best that you got. I can't start Deontay with Kenny Pickett. I mean, not Kenny Pickett, but with Mitchell Trubisky. I cannot start Deontay. Watson he looks like he's not gonna play with a hamstring injury. I'm just go ahead and tell you that now. That's easy to me. When I saw him go down and I knew it was his hamstring, as long as it wasn't his knee, I was like, oh my God, is his knee? And it wasn't his knee. I said, okay, he's gonna be out for 2 weeks, his hamstring. That might cost them probably the playoff spot. I think they need Watson. Jordan Love is on fire, but let's see how great he is. If he go out there and win without Watson, so yeah, I would play Noah Brown, but I would try to go to somebody else. I would play Jaden Reed over Noah Brown if I could. I would play Jonathan Mingo probably over Noah Brown. That's just me. I know Noah Brown on a great offense. I like Nico Collins. I think Robert Woods gonna get targets. I think John Mechie gonna get targets. I think it's gonna be all over the place. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Noah Brown busts out a big game like he did a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Maybe he could. I'm not gonna sit there and cap. Let's see. Johnny says, thanks for the help. You the man. Good looks. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Isaac says, I can't really drop no one but Khalil because my bench is Dowdle, Gainwell, Sharps, Noor, Dobbs, and Taysom. Right. And all those guys you got to have. Got to keep Sharps. I hope Sharps is okay. That's my number one thing. I hope Sharps is okay. You got to have, you need Dobbs for your quarterback. Taysom Hill is a great tight end. Yeah, Khalil is the only guy. And you can't drop Dowdle because you don't know what happened with Tony Pollard. You don't want to drop Dowdle. You need him through this fantasy football playoffs. So, yeah, Khalil is the only guy. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Isaac says, Noah Brown, they start. Deontay Watson, questionable. Yeah, like I said, I think I answered that already. Noah Brown is okay. He's okay. He got boom potential. I think he's a boom bust guy. Okay, I think I did these already. Okay, yeah, I already done these. CHB, he says, D'Ernest Johnson still withholding, worth holding, or should I grab Chase Brown? I think you got to still hold D'Ernest Johnson. I think Mixon is going to keep getting work, but I wouldn't chase Brown unless you just want to handcuff him. Don't drop nobody I wouldn't drop D'Ernest Johnson. That's kind of like you choosing who could go down. You already on D'Ernest and Travis Etienne. Now, if you think Joe Mixon has a chance to go down and Chase Brown would be a better player, then maybe do it then. But you got to be right. You don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to have any regrets if if something happened to Travis Etienne and D'Ernest he's the starter. You don't want to be like, man, I know I should have held on to him. You don't want to play that game. Will says, pick 2 defenses to stream rest of the season of the year. Dallas, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Indianapolis. Okay, definitely Green Bay. Definitely Green Bay. Definitely Green Bay. I would say Dallas and Green Bay. Dallas and Green Bay rest of the season. B Silver says, do we hold on to handcuffs like Hunt and Dearness Johnson or grab defenses like you mentioned? I think you gotta you keep I think you could drop Hunt. If I need to look at your team. To me, it just depends on your running backs, bro. If you got real good running backs, if you say you got, say if you had CMC and then you had like an AJ Dillon, then I might not drop a Dearness Johnson. But if you had a CMC and a Tony Pollard, I would drop Dearness and go get me a defense. So if you got two top 12 potential running backs on any given week, I'm going to stash some defenses. I'm going to drop a running back per se because I can go and pick up a running back and make up for one of my running backs going to make up for it. But if you got one top end heavy running back and the rest of them are kind of like top 32, top 24 guys, then you need to have handcuffs. So it's just depending on your team. I think you need to be stashing, in a vague answer, I think you need to be stashing defenses and running backs to your best of your knowledge, guys that you like. So if Hunt ain't that value to you, then drop Hunt and then pick up Dallas defense. If Dallas was out there, well, I'm pretty sure they're not out there. So you need to be stashing defenses and running backs. Defense and running backs are kind of the same at this point in time of the fourth quadrant season. Kazi says, pick two quarterbacks for rest of the season. Dobbs, Murray, or Minshew. I'm going to go with Murray and Minshew. I like Dobbs, man, but off of one bad game, they talking about benching him. I can't believe that. That's disrespectful to Dobbs. I mean, one bad game? Kirk Cousins had 2 or 3 bad games before. And you're going to bench Dobbs off one bad game. He only been in your team for 2 or 3 weeks. Come on now. Come on now. And you didn't run the ball with him. So come on now. So I'm going to say Kyler Murray and Minshew. I wouldn't drop Dobbs. Will says, also need a quarterback off the waiver wire this week. O'Connor, Ritter, Flacco, or Trubisky. I'm going with Flacco. I'm going with Flacco over Trubisky, over Ritter. Ritter has more boom than any other guys, but he's so damn risky, man. He always turning the ball over. So I'm going to go with Flacco. Quinn, he says, trade Devontae Smith for Hockenson. I need a tight end. My other wide receivers are Water, Olave, and Zay Flowers. No, I would rather trade. No, if you're going to trade Devontae Smith, get a better tight end than Hockenson. Try to get somebody like Trey McBride. I mean, Hockenson is good. I think Devontae Smith points are going to be so high. I don't think Hockenson is going to make up for it. I think you could stream tight end and keep Devontae Smith and come out better. I would rather stream before I give up Devontae Smith. I'm not giving up really none of those guys now. Who I would give up is Olave if I really wanted to give up somebody. I'm not giving up Devontae Smith. I'm not giving up a Jalen Hurts wide receiver on that offense. That's a top 3 offense. I'm not giving up a wide receiver on that offense. I'm not even giving up Water on that top offense on the other side of Tyreek Hill. Man, I almost feel better about playing Water than I do Tyreek, even though y'all might say that's crazy. It's not. I feel comfortable playing Water. He ain't got no pressure. I love to play wide receiver. Just go out there. Like sometimes it used to be T. Higgins. Sometimes when Jamar Chase was hitting, It was easy. All T. Higgins got to go out there and run a deep comeback. It's easy. Ain't nobody worried about him. We giving you up. Go ahead. You can have that. And we might not give you up a touchdown, but we'll give you that 20-yard pickup right there. We ain't letting Chase get behind us for 50. So that's what I'm saying. I like Devontae Smith on the other side of AJ Brown. So I wouldn't give up Devontae Smith, Waddle, or Zay Flowers. I would give up Olave. Olave is good, but that's something that I could go get something that I want. I like Hawkinson. If you want Hawkinson that bad. B Silver says, with the Eagles playing the Giants week 16 and they picking up Darius Leonard, no, that's not going to help them defensively. But that is a good defensive matchup for them week 16 against the Giants. That is a good matchup for them. But I don't think Leonard ain't going to make that much of a difference. I mean, he's going to be solid. He's a vet. He ain't going to make mistakes, but he ain't going to go out there and get like shutting down. Now they giving up one less touchdown a game because Leonard out there. No, but he can get 10 tackles. Don't get it twisted now. Leonard still can play. He sometimes being a smart football, you don't got to be fast. Smart is better than being fast. He ain't as fast as he used to be, but he's still a great mental linebacker. Jenny said start Pollard over Josh Jacobs, Nico Collins, or one of them for flex. I will start Nico Collins and Tony Pollard. I would start Nico Collins and Tony Pollard. I think all three of those guys are starters. I would try to start Pollard, Josh Jacobs, and Nico, but I know you probably can't. So what I'm saying, Nico got a tough matchup, man. He got a tough matchup against the Jets. I'm gonna go with starting Tony Pollard and Josh Jacobs. That's edgy, Berber. I don't want to tell you to sit Nico Collins, but I'm not gonna tell you to sit your running back. These running backs are really good. I think Tony Pollard can have a goal line carry. So that's why I'm gonna say Tony Pollard and Josh Jacobs. Start those guys. All of them, I would start all of them if I could. Isaac says, good explanation, TD. Cowboys still number one defense. Right. They still number one in real football. But the matchup's not great in fantasy. I understand. Charlene says, that's what happened to me. Purdy had 2 bad games, so a manager dropped him. Wow. So I picked him up and used him last week. 30 point, 40 point. 30 point, 40 point. You don't drop guys. I don't trade a lot. That's why a lot of you ask me, TD, should I make this trade? And I'll be like, nah, nope. I rarely give an A. Sometimes I might give a B- just because it makes sense. Why would you do that? Like, why would you trade Christian Watson for Chris Olave? When I believe look what's going on with Jordan Love. That's why I believed in Christian Watson. I just don't like Christian Watson because, hey, man, I think his mama's cute. Now, that ain't the reason why I picked Christian Watson. No pun intended. B. Silver says, James Cook, Kamara, Charbonnet are my main running backs. Okay. James Cook, Kamara's an alpha. Charbonnet's good. James Cook's good. Going back to question to who to bench or hold defense or handcuffs. I think I would stash defenses. You got 3 good running backs right here that if Charbonnet's healthy. When I think Charbonnet is healthy. So Charbonnet healthy, you got Kamara, you got James Cook. Stash them defenses. Don't worry about no running backs right now. Stash some defenses. Especially if I don't know how your defense will score, but if your defense is giving 14, 15 points, you're going to need those 14, 15 points. So stash a great defense. Look for the matchup. It's all about the matchup when it comes to like a defense. Because, if you got the Dallas Cowboys and you invested in them, you don't get cute and just drop them. But you can get a defense that can put up just as good as Dallas with a matchup. So you can go get these guys off the waivers right now. So you hold or don't go pick up a defense just because they've been good in the past and they got bad matchups. Go get a defense who playing against the Patriots or the Jets right now, since you have the opportunity to do it. And if you already had the Jets or you already had the Cowboys, I would tell you just hold on. Right? Just hold on, because we still don't know what's going to happen week to week. So the only way I'm stashing the defense, they got to have a great matchup over, and then I would drop a backup running back. Not one of those guys, not Cook or Kamara Charbonnet, but like Khalil Herbert or something. Kazi says, I lost Tank Dale. Do I add JSN or Romeo Dobbs off the waivers? JSN. I like Romeo Dobbs, but I'm going to go with JSN. I think JSN is getting ready to have a breakout fourth quadrant. I like Zay Flowers better than him, but that ain't got nothing to do with this fourth quadrant. I still think Zay Flowers is a better wide receiver, but for this team, JSN is getting ready to break out. Charlene says, I have a love-hate relationship with Hubbard. Still keeping him, though. Yep, that's how you do it. It's just like a real relationship. A lot of good relationships that last a long time is love and hate. If you have a relationship, let me tell y'all something, and I don't mean no disrespect to any of the women in here. Y'all might believe this. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm not saying anything bad or vulgar. But if you don't have a love with hate relationship, if your spouse as a man, if your woman don't have any, like, she don't get mad at you at any, she'll leave you, because you go for anything. You gotta talk with that. So sometimes good players do the same thing. Man, why he have a bad game this week? And the next thing you know, he booming 3 or 4 weeks in a row for you. So that's what life is about. I believe everything is that way. Jobs, YouTube. Sometimes, guys, YouTube is rough. I sit around, I go and I edit a video and I put pictures in it and I put music in it and I go and try to do new thumbnail and it'll take me 2 or 3 hours to edit a video and it get 100 views. And then sometimes I go post a video like, well, I gotta help and get it out. And I'm like, this ain't the best thumbnail, but my content is always good because I always put my best foot forward. I know some videos are better than others, but I still put my best foot forward. And that video go for 1,000 views. That's how life is. So you just gotta stay true to it. Stay true. That's why I like what she's saying. She's staying true with Hubbard. She's going down with the ship. That's what life is about. That's why I'm big on integrity. A lot of people, man, you sensitive. You take everything too serious. I'm about integrity. If you can't go down with the ship, I don't want you on my damn team. I don't trust you. I like people who are loyal. You can speak your mind, but if I know you volatile, if I know you don't stand for nothing, you will backslide me for anything, I don't trust you. I don't want you around me. That's me. So that's how I am with my players. If I draft you and I believe in you, 9 times out of 10, I'm going down with the ship. And I'm not gonna go down with the ship if you garbage. And I don't call players garbage. But if you start playing bad and it don't look good at all, and you fumbling and it looks very terrible, or you dropping a lot of passes, then I will move on. Like if I was on Quentin Johnson, I would have moved on by now. But Christian Watson, I definitely wasn't going to move on from that. Chris Vitter says Keaton Mitchell or Hubbard. I'm going with Hubbard over Keaton Mitchell. I'm going with Hubbard over Keaton Mitchell. I think Carolina's going to be guys. Carolina's practicing hard. They probably practicing harder. I ain't gonna say harder than anybody else, but they practicing really hard right now because they're trying to find out what they got. Bryce Young wants to look good, so I think Hubbard is trying to prove he want a deal. This is a contract year for Hubbard, so I like Hubbard. Charlene talks about that. Guys are in contract years. Guys in contract years, they do play good. Brian says, bruh, Dobbs or Stafford? This week I'm going with Dobbs. This week I'm going with Dobbs. Rest of the season I'm going with Stafford. Will says, should I pick up Elijah Moore or Christian Watson off the wire? Bruh, I don't know about Watson's injury, man. It makes me nervous, bruh. If you listen, if you get the news that Watson's gonna be okay with his hamstring, then definitely pick up Christian Watson. But I'm worried about his hamstring. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. So I'm gonna go with Watson if he's healthy. But if he can't play this week, bruh, it might be a waste. I don't know. If you don't need the starting of those guys, you're just trying to get a really good pickup, a guy that you could play, maybe play in your championship or in a couple weeks, it's definitely Christian Watson. But if it's a guy that you need to compete maybe this week and going forward, because you short on your wide receiver or something, I would say Elijah Moore. Todd Dollar, what's going on with you, bruh? He says, I have Khalil Herbert. Should I try to get Johnson on waiver and drop Hunt? I would play Johnson over Hunt. I would, man. I would play. Now, listen, the reason why I would do it against Detroit because Johnson catch passes. So that's why I would do it over Khalil. I would pick him up over Hunt because he catch passes. Even though Detroit is a great run defense. Mr. Anderson, San Fran or Texas defense this week? I think I'm going with the Texans defense, bro. I'm going with Texans. You gotta cherry pick the Jets and the New England Patriots. That's like an easy win. That's easy. I ain't gonna say what I wanted to say, but you get what I'm saying. That's an easy pick off. Let me see. Brian says I lost my last match because I replaced Zeke with P. Ryan last minute. Devastated. Now I'm fighting for a playoff spot. I don't know about that, but I get it because you playing two guys that are way out there. I think I would have played P. Ryan over Zeke too, bro. I don't think that was a bad, bro. Don't look at it that way. Now, if you'd have replaced Zeke and put in, I don't know, man, some third string running back or something. I think that was a good move. I don't think that was a bad move, bro. You got to keep that because P. Ryan had came in and got a lot of pass catching and routes and stuff and was decent, giving 10 to 12 points. You thought he at least could have done with Zeke. Who the hell would have knew that Ramondre was going to go down? I think you made the right decision, bro. Just win this week. That's all you do. You just move forward and win this week. You made the right decision. Tyler said, or drop Hunt for Houston defense. I would drop Hunt for Houston defense to get that defense. Now, listen, if you need to, do you need to win this week? If you don't need to win this week, then you don't need to worry about that. But you need, like I said, I haven't looked at the schedule like that. But if any of those defenses play the New York Jets or the New England Patriots, then you definitely play one of those guys. But don't pick them up this week just to get a win and you are already in the number 1 seed or you can't move up or down. So just pick up that defense to get a win. That's what it's about. If you need to win, don't mess up the integrity of your team just to get a win that doesn't matter. But I would do that in a vacuum. If you needed to win this week to get in the playoffs, I would definitely do that. Todd Dollar says I have the Chiefs and Bills defense already. Thanks, bro. Right. And that's okay. You got to stash defenses. So the Bills, I think the Bills do got a good matchup against the Jets or somebody. Also maybe the Chiefs too. So I'm still picking up the Texans defense because especially if they got a good matchup through the playoffs. I haven't looked at it. If Houston got a great matchup against a sorry team, you do it. That team is looking good. Daryl Stingley's playing good. And your boy, the linebacker, outside linebacker, is playing good. Isaac says Dobbs with JJ back booming. I hope so. I hope so. Mr. Anderson says, what you think about Waller? I think Waller is if he's healthy, he's a top 5 tight end. If he's healthy, he's a top 5 tight end. Siobhan says must win this week to get in the playoffs. Tough matchup ahead. That's hey, you're gonna get this win. Just focus on it. Focus on making the right plays. Sell out to get this win. You gotta win, so you gotta sell out to do it. You gotta go and spin waivers. You gotta play the optimal guys. And sometimes you can't play a guy like a P. Ryan. You might have to play a guy like a Chase Brown to get some boom because the safe ain't gonna get you there. Depending on who you gotta play. Yep. Chris Barbie, what's going on with you, bro? He says Justin Fields going to blow up this weekend. I said what I said. Bro, you probably right. You probably right. That's why I like Darnell Mooney as a sleeper wide receiver this week. Hey, y'all go watch my videos. I talked about Darnell Mooney being a sleeper wide receiver. Bronson, he says trade Kincaid and Sutton or Kincaid and Water for Pittman. Trade Kincaid and Sutton for Pittman. Don't trade Water. Water going to have a boom game in this playoffs. Remember that I said that. Water going to have a boom game in this playoffs. Trade Kincaid and Sutton. Angel. Noah Brown or K9 or Charbonnet in the flex. I'm going if Charbonnet is healthy and K9 ain't, if K9 and Charbonnet both healthy, I don't know. I don't know what I'll probably go with K9 if they both of them healthy. Maybe I'll play them together. Usually I squeeze on that if both of the guys are healthy. I wouldn't play. Listen, Noah Brown could show out, but I can't depend on him if I need to win and get in. I'm not going to depend on that type of guy because CJ Stroud can wheel and divvy out to all different types of guys. Appreciate your channel. Play Watson for 40 point last week because of you. Thanks. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Brian says, would you start K9 or Aaron Jones if both active? 2 flex league. I have Brandon Cooks and Zeke in the flex right now. And I think that might be your best. I think you got to keep B Cooks in there, and Zeke is going to get a lot of opportunities. K9 coming off an injury, playing against San Francisco. Aaron Jones, I'm definitely not playing on Aaron Jones. I'm definitely not. Now, listen, if Aaron Jones comes out there and booms, then that's going to surprise me. But the way that injury look, I can't play him this week. That's just me. So I would probably play B Cooks and Zeke right now over those 2 guys. Especially with Charbonnet, if Charbonnet ain't healthy, I might play K9. If Charbonnet out and K9 is there, then I'll probably play K9. But if Charbonnet and K9 healthy, I'm probably just going to stick it out with B Cooks and Zeke. As I said, Houston has all good matchups coming up. Okay. So Houston is definitely a pickup. That's a team that you need to stash. So if you got the Cowboys, you stash them and you hold on to Houston, and you play Houston this week, and then you probably play Houston even the next week if they got a great matchup. And 2, you see otherwise something else happens to tell you to play your top defense or something. But yeah, you got to play matchups when it comes to certain defense that's trending and they playing against teams that really, really suck, like the Patriots and the Jets. Siobhan says, I'm playing in the flex Olave over IU because he's playing Carolina. Got St. Brown and Pittman in wide receiver spots. I think you got to do that, especially with Rashid Shaheed coming off the injury, and especially with Jameis Winston pushing the ball downfield. I can understand why you would play Olave over IU. IU doesn't get that type of value. He just get a lot of honey catches. where he's gonna get really great opportunities to score, it's gonna look easy because he got a really good team around him. And they don't need Ayuk to go off every week. They need Olave to go off every week. So I'm okay with you playing Olave, even though I'm not a big Olave fan. I love Ayuk. I'm okay. I understand. That's great. That's a great play right there, Olave over Ayuk. I would try to have both of them out there, but you probably can't do that. Charlene says Jefferson or Addison this week. You know you got to play Jefferson over Addison. I'm not gonna play no Addison over Jefferson. I'm playing Jefferson all the way through. Okay, this is Houston's schedule. This is Houston schedule. Jets, Tennessee, Cleveland, then Tennessee again. Yeah, that's a good schedule. That's a good schedule. So that's Tennessee and Tennessee. Yeah, that's a good schedule. Now I mean, Derrick Henry is something, but I'm not worried about Will Levis, but Derrick Henry is something. So that's a little, it's good. It ain't fantastic. It's good. Will says, who would you start? Montgomery, A-Chain, and PPR? I got to start A-Chain. A-Chain is the starter. He's a top 5 running back rest of the season. A-Chain's a top 5 running back rest of the season. Todd Otter says, Kenya Drake was drafted to practice. Is he worth a stash now? Everything out there, ain't every girl to walk by, don't turn your head and look at and try to approach and take her home. You can't do that. Every single girl, something can happen bad to you if you try to sleep with every single girl or you try to date every single girl. That's not, you don't do that. You pick and choose your types and somebody who's vibe with you. And Kenya Drake, just another girl that's walking down. I mean, I hate to use that comparison, but that is how I do my comparison. So I wouldn't worry about Kenya Drake. Yes, I like Green Bay. I do. I like Green Bay. So did he go to Green Bay practice squad? Even way, I'm still not worried about that. Zach says Zeke Elliott or Chuba Hubbard. I'm going with Chuba over Zeke. Better, a little bit better of offense. A little bit better. They averaging a couple more points than they probably averaging like 4 more points than I think they averaging at least like 13 points a game. I think New England averaging like 9 or 10. Siobhan said, just catching the live. Did you discuss Keaton Mitchell? Yes. I talked about Keaton Mitchell. I said that he is I think he's potentially top 12 guy. I'm starting him as a top 12 guy. I like Keaton Mitchell. He's kind of like a Devon A-Chain. You got to put him out there. Even though he might not get 20 carries, his touches are going to be optimal because he could take it to the crib from any spot on the field. So I like Keaton Mitchell. Who would you choose? 2 running backs. I got Pacheco, Monty, Rashad White, or Keaton Mitchell. I'm going with Rashad White. That's tough. I don't think Keaton can break that lineup. He can't break that lineup. Rashad White and Pacheco. I think you need to be starting Rashad White, Monty, and Pacheco. Keaton Mitchell can't get. He's not better than any of those guys. I wouldn't even start him over Monty. I'm close. I can't sit Rashad White. He's been balling out. Monty is a honey touch machine, and Pacheco is got the sauce right now. That's how teams are making Pacheco beat him, and he's eating. So I'm gonna say Rashad White and Pacheco and Monty. That's the ranking. Keaton Mitchell next. Rono, he said, what's good, OG? He says, hey, Tank Dell and need a stud wide receiver. Should I spend the remainder of my fab on Jacoby, DeMario Douglas, or Jonathan Mingo? Jonathan Mingo. Out of those guys, I will go with Jonathan Mingo. Now, if you want to willing to spend all your fab, that's fine. Whatever you think you need to do to make sure you have a wide receiver to replace Tank, I will go with Mingo over those guys. Silence says, good evening, bro. In PPR, Gus or Tajay Spears? This week, I'm going with Tajay over Gus. this week because of the Miami offense. I believe that's going to make Tajay get more snaps because he's a passing down back. So when when Miami keep scoring and they may be down 10 to 14 points, that's going to take Derrick Henry off the field. Now, if Tennessee can match them or the game stay close, then it's probably going to benefit a lot of Derrick Henry, and Tajay probably won't be out there as much, but he still can have a good role and still score too, even with Derrick Henry being out there. So I'm going to say Tajay Spears slightly over Gus. And PPR flex London or likely. I don't think I'm going to go with London, bro. I'm going to keep going down with the ship with London. Yep, I'm going with London. And starting Laporta at tight end already. Yep, I agree with that. Zach says, I have Ramondre Stevenson on my team. Should I keep him on my bench or drop? You got to stash him. You don't never know what's going to happen. So I would stash him. Maybe wait to a couple more weeks. And then if you find out that next week that he ain't starting, which that's kind of simple, right? That's not really why you're asking me. But I wouldn't drop him this week. I will wait to make sure that injury is going to be it for the rest of the season. Because you don't want him to drop him and he come back next week. Vito says, one more pick, rest of the season, Rice, Downs, or Godwin? I'm going with Rashid Rice. Isaac says, I'm playing JT. I'm praying JT come back. He could, man. He could come back for your championship. I don't know if you're going to be wanting to play him, but maybe if you hold him, you might have to. If you got room to play him, you might have to do that. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button. See how many likes we got. We better have like 35 likes. I've been doing this live for about over almost an hour and a half now. 28 likes. Come on, guys, we'll get the likes up. I should have at least about 30-some likes. Yep. Hopefully the sound was better this time. It was on my camera that I got in the back, and that's why it probably was sounding far out there, guys, and I apologize. So hopefully you can hear, you can see my microphone right here. So hopefully it's sounding better. Let me see how many likes we got now. There we go. We got 32. That's what I'm talking about. Durf boy, what's the? Hey, bro, your shirt is coming. I got your shirt. You know I work, so man, by the time I get off, bro, I'll be missing the post office. But I got some time that I took off from work, and that's when I'm gonna go and handle your shipping and handling and send you your shirt, bro. I got you. So don't think I ain't forgot about you. I ain't forgot about you, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate you too, bro. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Let me see. Yeah, I see it, Charlene. I see it. Charlene, before I get out of here, I'm gonna chastise you. Don't hide. Don't leave. Why you don't never come up and talk? You ain't got to show your face. Why you don't never come up and talk? I'm gonna sit here and wait and see you answer that question. If you, because you give your input on stuff, but when I ask you about coming up to talk about some of the players, you don't say anything. You be quiet. So I want you to answer that. Tell me why you don't come up. And guys, anybody want to come up, you're welcome to before I get out of here tonight. I'm gonna put the link into the comment section. So you're welcome to come up. You ain't got to show your face. And I will put my headphones on. That way it won't echo. So I'm gonna try to wait a little bit. Yep, I love Jonathan Mingo, guys. That's one of my guys. I think he's gonna be really good for the rest of the season. I'm not saying he's like some elite, super talented, but I think he can play. Because the opportunity. I mean, he's better than Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson might be okay. I think he's gonna work on his hands in the offseason. And I think he's gonna be a really good wide receiver working on his hands in the offseason. He's gonna catch probably 100 balls a day to get his hands better. Okay. You ain't hey, you can just talk. You could just talk. You ain't gotta say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna be like, oh, I know that's Charlene from Ohio. And I know what she that's Charlene from Texas. Nobody gonna know who you is. All you gotta do is get up and talk. Ain't nobody gonna laugh at you. You good? But if I told you had to show your face, I will understand. I don't mean that in a bad way because I understand some people don't want to be on camera and want people looking at them. But I don't think it's that bad to come up and talk. You know your stuff. I wouldn't tell you to come up here. Well, I'm willing to invite anybody, but I wouldn't invite you the way I do if I didn't think you knew what to say. So, like I said, if you want to come up here, you can. If you don't, you want to remain shy. I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. Well, I guess nobody wants to come up. I put the link in the description box. In the comment section. So I don't think nobody wants to come. That's fine. I guess I'm going to get ready to get out of here, guys. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say that shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. So let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they trying to finish me, but it just turn me up. Turn me up, Jay. Fresh to death on camouflage. Gotta keep a foot up on their necks cause they might sabotage. I ain't come for peace, I brought the mask, about to terrorize. Step. If you ain't hating, nigga, keep that bullshit to yourself. Get my bop on you niggas. Don't never question if I'm a real nigga, I get a lot for you niggas. Bitch, they thought I was finished, but I got a lot for you niggas. Lil John on them niggas. I'm the bra on them niggas. I'm the hottest in the business. Okay, put me in the mix. I can tell you used to lame niggas that ain't this. Think you coming up a bag, you ain't getting shit. You say wanna fuck, but now she see a nigga lit. Country for life in this bitch. Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say this shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they trying to finish me, but it just turn me up. Okay, turn me up, yeah. I'm like Block Boy, look alive, look alive. I'm married to that money and I keep her by my side. They thought I wouldn't be shit, so why they face look so surprised. You ain't a real nigga, you just pussy in the sky. Whoa, yeah, look at a nigga now. When I put up to the jeweler, I'ma tell that nigga go bust it down. Tryna count the money. Damn, homie, I done lost track of their mind. Turn me up, this that hot shit. It was kinda looking like a drought. I don't do this for the clout, bitch. Okay, turn me up. Do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some bands on it. Okay, turn me up. Do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some racks on it. Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in